I'd like to introduce Mr. Arthur Mack. He's behind me, virtually. Unfortunately, he can't be with us today because he's not that well at the moment. So sadly, he won't be here. I'm talking on behalf of Arthur. My name is John Broomhead. I've known Arthur all my life, but I was one of the first ones to go down and dive on the wreck after Arthur had found it. Now, he found it by accident. He was out trawling with a friend, Melvin Gofton, in a boat in 1979 when their nets became entangled on an underwater obstruction. When they ripped their nets free of the underwater obstruction and pulled them inboard, there was a great big lump of timber within the nets. Now, normally a fisherman would curse at their ill luck and throw it back over the side, but Arthur, his words, he said to me, have haunted me all my life. He said, "John, I have a feeling about this. This is something very special." And what he was talking about was there were some wooden trennels going through the timber. Now, he said, "I think this is as old as the old girl herself," meaning, of course, Victory. And he suddenly had this passion to go down and find out what it was. Unfortunately, we had to find it again. And Arthur's persistence over a full month in May of 1979, he eventually caught his nets again, and we went out and we dived the wreck. Probably one of the first things that impressed me whilst swimming along this mass of timbers down there was a large coil of rope, and the rope was 9-inch, that is circumference, of tarred hemp. Now, it was a full coil there on its side. Swimming further along, found other bits and pieces down there, pieces of lead, all sorts of stuff. Clearly, this was a wreck of some magnitude. On the second or third dive when we went out there was just Arthur at the top. I was on the seabed working away, and I was hand moving, just wafting the sand away from around the coil of rope, the first one that we'd seen. And I got down maybe, 30 centimetres down the side of this piece of rope, and I found this amazing little sand glass. It was made of a wooden frame, glass bowls all joined together in the middle, heavily concreted, but the concretion broke away, and I got it in my hands and went to the surface, just cradling this amazing artefact. When I got alongside the boat, I said to Arthur, "You'll never guess what this is." I handed it up to him, and he was just amazed. Throughout my life, I've never been interested in history at all, and my diving was always about catching lobsters and crabs to eat. When Arthur found this one, and I dived it several times, those words he spoke, "I have a feeling," kept coming back, and his enthusiasm was so infectious that I got the bug as well to do this in an archaeological manner to find out what he'd actually found down there. We had no idea of the name of the ship. The artifacts were giving us an idea. One time I was down there fanning the sand away, and this little tiny round disc appeared before my eyes, just came up through the sediment. It was a button with a number on the button. The number was XXX, signifying 30. Couldn't believe it. So this was made of silver in pristine condition, and it had, when we brought it up to the surface and cleaned it, had a name on the back, Nutting and Son, a London button manufacturer. That meant that we could start doing a lot of research to try and identify what this wreck actually was. In fact, the buttons proved so important, we went and saw Alexander McKee over on Hayling Island, who originally found and discovered the Mary Rose, and he gave us a lot of help and advice based on the artefacts we were getting as to what he thought the wreck was called.